Joining me today is Raven Astrom out of Broomfield, Colorado. Out of an audience of more than 50,000 agents nationwide, Raven's been selected to represent Broker Agent Advisor as this month's Broker Agent of the Month for the state of Colorado. And Raven, it's been a treat for me to get to know you a little bit, and I'm happy for you that we get to spend a couple minutes here kind of shining a light on you for the way you approach this industry, this business, and the way you conduct yourself as a realtor. I just want to say congratulations on being recognized, and thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you so much, Brian. It really is an honor, certainly unexpected. It's been so much fun to talk to you and think of how everything has evolved fairly quickly for me. So that even adds more to the excitement of being part of it. So thank you.
You're welcome. You've earned it. And it's my hope, Raven, that through a couple questions that we explore together, people that watch this just get a sense for who you are and maybe feel like they know you a little bit. And I thought we would just explore a couple questions. I want to start with the topic of real estate. There's a lot of things you could be doing professionally. What was the inspiration for you to get into this business and become a realtor?
So actually my background is healthcare. I was in healthcare for close to 30 years as a nurse, and mainly as a nurse. I had several positions in healthcare, and I love people. What changed a lot in healthcare, and not actually related to COVID at all, but what changed a lot in healthcare is the industry itself is so bombarded by different rules and regulations that are related completely to insurance companies, and it no longer became about taking care of the person, but somehow managing to say that, you know, the reasons that they're here are valid, that they were in the hospital were valid, and we spent so much time justifying why a patient was there. I just got frustrated with no longer being able to serve the people that I went into the business for. And I've always been very interested in real estate, and it actually seemed kind of like a no-brainer to shift over to real estate, where I still get to take care of people and love on them, so to speak, but really help them meet their needs. And nobody's telling me how to do it. I get to take care of them the way that I think is appropriate.
Yeah, I love that. There's an element of human compassion I think is required to find success in this business. As you discovered, I mean, it's a very, very tough business. Most people, I think, from outside the business looking in, think all real estate agents make a ton of money and this business is easy. And the reality is it's far harder than most people think. And I think your desire to serve others is one of the reasons why you're probably finding some success. But I'm curious, what keeps you in it? What is it that you find most rewarding about this business and being a realtor?
Well, I do want to touch on the fact that you stated that it's not an easy business, because it's not. And that was one of the things that truly surprised me about this business. I happen to have a PhD in psychology also, and I thought, I'm smart, I can do this. I had to work my butt off to get my license and to learn everything that I have learned, and I'm still learning so far. So that really surprised me. Realtors work so hard, and but I love that because I like being a hard worker. What really keeps me in this business is that I really feel like I serve the people that I'm working with, and getting to know so many people. And it's a tough time in real estate, but when you look back, there's always something difficult about real estate. A lot of things shoved on us in the last few years, especially. But so it's being that very reassuring person who can help people sift through everything that's going on and get to the heart of it, and help them find that home. And one of my favorite things that I love is when we do find them that home, and how grateful they are, but just how happy they are that we managed to do that. And that's, you know, again, people is why I do pretty much everything I do.
Yeah. I found a testimonial of yours, Raven, and I think it's appropriate to listen to how a client would describe going through that process with you as their realtor. It says, Raven is an absolute gem. Not only was she so helpful in finding us our home, but she was such a great support system throughout the trials and tribulations of the process. Raven was such a great help during the entire process from discovery to post-close. I can't recommend her enough. As a first-time homeowner, she was an irreplaceable presence as somebody who was knowledgeable about the process, but also warm, but a warm presence who I felt at ease with and comforted by with all my questions and needs. Thanks again, Raven. And this kind of speaks to what you talked about is what's really important to you, and it kind of plays out really well in that testimonial. And congrats on the kind words.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
You, home for you is in Broomfield, Colorado. Talk to me a little bit about what it's like to live, work, and play there in Broomfield.
My first thing that I love about Broomfield, and again, I just sometimes feel like a broken record, but it's the people. It's a wonderful community. We lie kind of in between Boulder, where I was raised, and the Metro Denver area. And I still have my favorite view outside my windows, which is the view of the Front Range in Boulder. And what I love is being able to walk around my community and see people I know or people I don't know, but it's so easy to communicate and talk with everybody. And it really feels like a small town community. It has that sense to it, but we're not. We're blossoming, we're growing because of our location here on the Front Range. We have an amazing industry here, a lot of technology, a lot of healthcare, but we still have that small town feel. I'm very involved in the Chamber of Commerce, and we do wonderful community events. You know, we have picnics all the time, we have parades. It's that old-fashioned feel in a much bigger town. So it's a great community to be in, great schools, but it's the people. I love them.
I wish everybody could describe where they live as community. I think there's something really powerful to feeling like we can lean into our neighbors and it makes for a more abundant life. And I think it's awesome that that's how you describe it. Before I let you go and ask you one more question, we've talked a little bit about how hard this business can be, and it's been especially challenging the last few years. We come out of COVID, we've got unprecedented low inventory. Now we've got elevating interest rates, and you know, it's just constant ebbs and flows, and it's been a really challenging time. If you were to give one piece of advice, Raven, to a peer in this business, what would that one piece of advice be?
I think one of the aspects that's most important for me and beneficial to me, and I've learned over time, and I will attribute some of that to that healthcare background, but being a good listener is just, I can't say enough about how important that is. And learning to listen in between the listening. And that's whether you're working with another agent, which we are. It's never about just one person. It's how we work with other agents and how we work with our clients. And that starts with learning to listen to them. And then also listen to yourself. Make sure that the stories that you're telling yourself are supporting you in this business, because as we already spoke, it's not easy. It's very rewarding, but there's a lot of patience that's involved, and learning to listen really, really well. Because sometimes when a client says that they don't like the particular home that they're going through, there's usually more than just that story. So it's listening to people. And what I also find, that's what people want. It doesn't matter where you are in life, people want to be heard.
I completely agree. The shortest distance between two people is trust. And I don't think there's a faster way to establish trust than to try to really understand where they're coming from and what's important to them. And I think that's really, really good advice. And Raven, I think you're fantastic. I think the business is lucky to have you, and I'm proud to have gotten to know you a little bit through this process. And I just want to say congratulations again on being recognized. And I wish you nothing but joy and abundance on the rest of your journey.
Well, thank you so much. I so appreciate it. And yeah, it's been wonderful getting to know you and the people at Spaces Up. It's been fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. You too.